Hello everyone, and welcome to BL Stories for You. This is a channel where you'll find unique, original stories written by me. So get comfortable, take a breath, and let's dive in. That night, Jae wouldn't stop staring at me, and it was making me painfully aware of every single thing I was doing. I grabbed my towel and some clothes, heading toward the bathroom, when he suddenly grinned and said, "Hurry up, boyfriend." I froze. Don't call me that," I muttered, my face heating up instantly. "But you are my boyfriend," he replied easily, like it was the most natural thing in the world. Then he said it again, "Boyfriend," just to see my reaction. And I swear, my ears were burning at that point, as if he hadn't already messed with my heart enough. He leaned back on the bed and asked casually, "So, should we shower together?" "What?" I nearly dropped the towel. "Jae, you're moving way too fast." He smirked, completely unbothered, clearly enjoying my panic far too much. "Relax. I was just asking." "I'm not relaxing," I shot back as I hurried into the bathroom. "And don't you dare come in." I slammed the door shut, my heart pounding like crazy. Even under the shower, I could still feel his presence. Still hear his teasing voice echoing in my head. By the time I was done, I'd barely calmed down. When I stepped out, towel draped around my neck, hair still wet and dripping, Jae looked up from the bed, and the look on his face made my stomach flip. "Why are you looking at me like that?" I asked nervously. "I can't help it," he said quietly. Then he stood up and crossed the room in just a few steps. Before I could react, he grabbed my wrist and pulled me toward him, gently pushing me onto the bed. His lips met mine, warm and insistent, stealing every thought from my head. I gasped into the kiss, my hands gripping his shirt as my brain completely short-circuited. Jae," I whispered when he finally pulled back just enough for me to breathe. "If you keep kissing me like this, my mom will notice. My lips will swell, and she'll definitely suspect something." He groaned softly, resting his forehead against mine. "Now that I finally have you, it's really hard to keep my hands to myself." I was about to reply, probably to scold him again, when a familiar voice rang out from outside. "I'm home." We both froze. His hands dropped immediately. I sat up so fast I nearly fell off the bed. For a second, we just stared at each other, pure panic on both our faces, as if nothing had happened at all. I could barely focus on the food in front of me. We were all seated at the dining table, Mom at the head, Jae beside me, and for some reason, everything just felt lighter. My cheeks actually hurt from smiling so much. I didn't even realize how obvious it was, until Mom narrowed her eyes at us, amusement dancing in them. "You two look suspiciously happy today," she said, pointing her spoon at us. "Did something good happen?" I nearly choked. Jae and I exchanged a quick glance. It lasted barely half a second, but somehow carried 1,000 thoughts. We both stayed quiet, which apparently was answer enough. Mom gasped dramatically. "Ah, I knew it." She turned fully toward me. "It must be because you met your first love again." I groaned. "Mom." Jae rolled his eyes so hard I thought they might get stuck, and I had to bite my lip to stop myself from laughing. "You have it all wrong," I said quickly. "It's really not like that," she hummed, clearly unconvinced, then casually shifted her attention to Jae. "By the way," she added, "tomorrow I'll get a locksmith to open your door. You've been stuck here long enough. You should finally be able to go home." Jae nodded politely. "Thank you, ma'am." What she didn't see, what made my heart race, was the way his hand slid into mine beneath the table. His fingers laced with mine so naturally, so boldly, like he wasn't afraid at all. I stiffened in surprise, then slowly relaxed, heat creeping up my neck. He just smiled to himself, completely unbothered, while I tried to act like my entire world hadn't tilted. That night, after we finally got ready for bed, I curled closer to Jae, resting my head against his chest. His heartbeat was steady beneath my ear, His arms came around me instinctively, tight, protective, warm. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. I think, I said softly, my voice barely above a whisper, this is the happiest I've been in a really long time. His chest rose with a slow breath. Me too. There was a pause. And then, a quieter truth settled between us. It sucks that we have to hide, I admitted. Yeah, he said, tightening his arms around me just a little. But even so, I don't regret anything. Neither did I. I shifted slightly so I could look up at him. You know, I finally figured out what I want to write for the contest. His eyes lit up immediately. Really? I nodded, excitement bubbling in my chest. I'm going to base it on us. Our story. The soulmate marks. The timing. Everything. I swallowed, then smiled. I'm thinking of calling it Faded Ink. He smiled so brightly it almost hurt to look at him. Does it have a happy ending? It does, I said without hesitation. No matter what. He leaned down then and pressed a soft, sure kiss to my lips. The next morning, Nammin arrived at Star's Entertainment, his backpack slung over one shoulder, his notebook clutched tightly to his chest. He still felt a little out of place walking into the sleek building, but the nervousness faded the moment he settled into the familiar rhythm of writing. What he didn't expect was Woojin. From the moment Nammin sat down to work, Woojin was there, pulling a chair close, leaning over his shoulder, peeking at his lyrics as if they were a shared secret. Are you tired? Woojin asked, resting his chin on his hand as he watched Nammin scribble something down. I'm okay, Nammin replied softly, a shy smile tugging at his lips. You sure? Woojin said. You've been writing nonstop. You should take breaks. He nudged a bottle of water toward him. Nammin nodded and thanked him, his cheeks warming at the attention. Across the room, Taeyang noticed everything. At first, he told himself it didn't matter. Woojin was just being friendly. He was like that with everyone. But as the hours passed, irritation coiled tighter in Taeyang's chest. Every laugh Nammin shared with Woojin, every moment they sat shoulder to shoulder, felt like something sharp scraping against his nerves. He didn't understand it. He had no right to feel this way. And yet, he did. After practice later that day, Taeyang was wiping sweat from his neck when he saw Woojin suddenly grab his bag. I've got somewhere to be, Woojin announced cheerfully, before hurrying out of the room. Taeyang barely registered his words. What caught his attention instead were June and Daejo, lingering behind, talking animatedly. That guy is totally whipped, June laughed. Have you seen the way Woojin sticks to Nammin? Daejo snorted. Yeah, he's definitely Woojin's type. Cute, small, quiet. I won't be surprised if he asks him out soon. June grinned. And Nammin won't stand a chance. He wouldn't be able to resist. No one ever does. The laughter that followed made Taeyang's jaw tighten. But you know how Woojin is, Daejo added, his tone shifting. Once he gets bored, he drops people like they never mattered, uses them, dumps them, moves on to the next interesting thing. June hummed in agreement. True, he's done it plenty of times. Taeyang didn't wait to hear more. Memories rushed in, faces Woojin had once charmed, people left behind, without a backward glance. Taeyang's chest constricted painfully, as fear replaced jealousy. Without thinking, he turned on his heel and left the room. He moved through the hallway quickly, then faster, until his steps broke into a run. His mind held only one thought, Nammin. When he reached the front of the building, his breath caught. There, just outside the glass doors, Nammin stood with Woojin. Woojin was smiling brightly, saying something animated. Nammin listened, with that soft, trusting expression. Taeyang had come to recognize, all too well. They looked like they were about to leave, together. Without stopping to think, driven by a sharp, unfamiliar heat in his chest, Taeyang strode straight toward them. He reached them in seconds and, before either of them could react, He grabbed Nammin's hand. "Where are you going?" Taeyang asked. His voice came out tighter than he intended. Nammin blinked, startled. "Ah, coffee," he replied, glancing between them. "Just down the street." "We're leaving," Taeyang said, abruptly. He turned and took a step forward, tugging Nammin along with him. "What the hell?" Woojin snapped, instantly feeling brushed aside. He stepped in front of them, blocking their path. "What do you think you're doing? You can't just take him away like that." Taeyang stopped. Finally, he looked at Woojin properly, jaw clenched. "What's your intention with Nammin?" The question hung in the air. Woojin stared at him for a beat, stunned. Then he let out a short, disbelieving laugh. "Excuse me?" he scoffed. "That's none of your business. Why are you acting like this?" "I know you, Woojin," Taeyang shot back. The words spilled out before he could stop them. "And I won't let you have your way this time." Woojin's expression darkened. "Have my way," he scoffed again, tilting his head as he studied Taeyang. "Why do you care so much?" His eyes narrowed. "Don't tell me. You like him." Nammin froze. His grip tightened, unconsciously, around Taeyang's hand. His heart pounded as he looked up at him, waiting. Taeyang opened his mouth, but no sound came out. That hesitation was answer enough. Woojin smirked. "Wow, that's rich." He reached out and grabbed Nammin's other hand. "Come on, let's go. This is getting ridiculous." Taeyang reacted instantly. He stepped forward, yanking Nammin back. "Don't touch him." The tension snapped. "What did you just say?" Woojin barked, shoving Taeyang's shoulder. "Stop it," Nammin pleaded, trying to force himself between them. "Please, both of you." But Woojin had already swung. The punch landed hard against Taeyang's face, snapping his head to the side. Gasps rippled through the area as nearby staff and members rushed over. "Taeyang!" Nammin cried out, panic flooding his face. Taeyang staggered, then straightened. Anger flashed through him as his fist tightened, ready to swing back. "Hey! Stop!" Hands grabbed both of them, security pulling them apart before it could go any further. Breathing hard, Taeyang looked past the arms restraining him and met Nammin's eyes. Nammin wasn't crying. He looked hurt, disappointed. Every heartbreaking emotion was written clearly on his face. Then, he turned away. Without another word, Nammin walked off, leaving Taeyang standing there, frozen. The sting on his cheek was nothing, compared to the regret crashing through his chest. As Nammin disappeared from view, Taeyang finally understood it. He had messed everything up. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.